Now, listening to that is Ian Lomax, who joins us now. Hello, Ian. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning to you. Tell us about you, your estranged wife, your ex-wife, and your son Christopher, please.
Well, I actually met my wife on holiday in 1990, and we just fell in love. And
where was that, by the way, Ian?
it was in Corfu.
Right. Okay.
Greek Island. And I went home, only knew her for a week, and then she sent me a letter saying, would you like to come to see my family? Which I did. I stayed for 5 weeks, and we just got on very, very well, but her family was against the relationship. She wanted to come back with England with me, and my mother said no, so I came back to England. And it just wouldn't let us get back together, so I went back in October 1990, and I just smuggled her to Greece. And we got married in February 1990.
Sorry, you got married on the mainland of Greece, did you?
No, in England.
Oh, in England. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Yeah. Okay.
I was actually smuggled out to Greece.
Uh-huh.
You understand? Because the family didn't want us to be together.
Yeah.
So she got pregnant in 1990, and when the child was born, the family made peace with me and a daughter, and things were fine. And then we kept going to Greece on holidays, and the mother kept saying, we want to live in Greece, both of us with the child, and I said no, because I didn't want to live with the parents with no job and no security. Anyway, we came back, and then the mother came to my house and said that they wanted to raise the child in Greece, and I said no, the child is mine, we want to live in England, and she left. And she's supposed to be staying for 2 weeks, and they stayed for 2 days and left. Anyway, I had a phone call after a week, and she said that she wanted to make peace with us. So I said yeah, so I did, for the child's sake and for my wife. We went to Greece in August 1998 for 2 weeks. I didn't know that she was going to abduct the child, and 2 days before I was coming back home, I had a phone call at her mother's house and just told me that she's staying in Greece and weren't coming back, and that she's keeping the child in Greece.
But were you not all under the same roof at that stage, Ian?
Yeah, we was on holiday and we just stayed at the mother-in-law's house.
Yeah. And they confronted you face to face and told you this?
Well, my wife sneaked the child out of the house while I was asleep on the bed, and she just telephoned the house and saying that she wasn't coming back to England and that you're never going to see your child again. And I was in shock. I didn't believe her at all. So she just put the phone down, and the mother-in-law just threw my suitcase out of the house and said, your relationship's over, you're never going to see your wife and your child again.
What did you do then?
I just left. I was in shock. I just couldn't believe what was happening. So I went to the British Embassy in Athens, and I told them what had happened. They said it's a crime, and they told me to go to the police and charge with kidnapping, which I did. And the police went looking for her. They couldn't find her with the child, so I just went back to England on my own. And
did you feel that the authorities did as much as they possibly could at that time?
Well, at the time, you know, it was a local police station in Param, which is a district in Athens. It was a very poor village, and they never heard of child abduction. They just told me to go home and get a lawyer, which I did. So I got in touch with my lawyer in England and took proceedings for the Lord Chancellor's office to return the child to England. So I went to court in November. In a court, they don't have any family courts in Greece at all. So I had to go in a court with petty criminals, and the judge wasn't experienced in the Hague Convention. I wasn't allowed to have my own lawyer in court. I had to use a lawyer, Social Security lawyer with the Greek Central Authority. And anyway, my wife never turned up in court, so the case was dismissed. I had to go back home, and I went back again in December. And went back in court in December, and they told a lot of lies about me, saying I was a criminal and I stole cars and all kinds of things. And
have you got a criminal record?
No, I am not at all, no.
Right, okay.
But it was all hearsay, so all I said in court, that I love my wife, I love my child, and I want my wife and child to come back to England. And anyway, I went back home and had a decision in January. They said the child is staying in Greece, and that was it.
The courts made that decision?
They made that decision, yeah.
Right.
They said it was psychological damage to take the child away from the mother.
Okay.
Even though he lived in England all his life. I never had a hearing or nothing. So, and that was it. So I came back to England and complained to the Lord Chancellor's office and they took my case to Europe, Strasbourg, and said the child should have been returned to England with the evidence I proved that she told lies in court. So, anyway, I went to courts in April 2000 for access. I know I can see my child for 2 years in Greece at Christmas, summer holidays, anytime I want, really.
So have you seen Christopher?
Yeah, I've been seeing him now for the last 2 years, yeah.
Right, and what sort of, I can almost guess the answer to this, but tell us anyway, and what sort of atmosphere is there, and what circumstances do you see Christopher? Does your wife have to be there, your in-laws, etc.?
No, she wanted supervision twice a year for an hour in a room with the social services, but the judge said I can see the child any time I want, and if she tries to sabotage the access order, she'll be arrested or fined in court. So I can see my child on my own at Christmas, which is the first. I went this Christmas for the first time in 3 years, and it's just fantastic.
Of course, and you can't put a price on it. But having said all of that, this has cost you a bob or two, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's cost me thousands of pounds, but we did an appeal, with the local press, and the people at Bolton have been very helpful as well. Donating, for the appeal, for the lawyer fees and everything, and the travelling. They've been excellent.
Now, you say you still love your wife, but realistically, she must have colluded with her parents some period of time before the actual abduction took place.
Yeah, she'd been planning the abduction for over 12 months, and I just didn't know at the time, until I just got that phone call on holiday, and that was it.
And you still love her?
No, I can't love her for what she's done to me, no.
Do you hate her?
I don't hate her. I just pity her, really. I dislike her the way she did it. Just taking an holiday, and I had to come home on my own with 2 empty spaces on that plane, and it was awful. It's really, really awful.
Is this as good as it's going to get, do you feel, Ian?
Well, I'm going to court within the next few months, and hopefully that the judge should, have access in England, to see his grandparents, and because he was 7 years old. He's lived in England for 7 years. He's not seen his country for 3 years. I think he's entitled to see his country and his family in England. And with the access I have, as far as I know, I'm the only one in Europe who's got access to see a child, for the Hague Convention.
Yes. Does he know who you are? Does Christopher know who you are, Ian?
Yeah, he was 7 years old when he was took. Yeah. So he knows me very, very well, yeah. And I've been going quite frequent to see him.
And does he speak English?
He speaks fluent English and fluent Greek. Yeah. Yeah. And he wants to come home, but, and he's sort of in the middle now, and he's at that age now, he's 10 now. And he's asking questions now, why did you leave me in Greece? And, and one day I'll tell him when he's old enough, but I think he's a bit too young now.
I mean, my story is nowhere near as shattering as yours, but all I can say, and I'm sure people have told you this anyway, that time doesn't half whiz by, and I went through a similar sort of thing, not the abduction, but the split up and having very minimal access to my son Gregory. He's now 18, and he has his own car, and I can see him whenever I like, of course. You say 10 years, 18 years, it doesn't half fly by, and that is one. You will see more of him as he gets older, do you not feel?
I'm a believer that one day he will come home, but I believe also that the child should love both parents. I will never do what she did to me, because at the end of the day, it's the child what matters, and this is what's carried me through.
Have you another relationship now?
Yeah, I'm actually with a girl now, and she's pregnant.
Yeah.
And the baby's due in July. And, I've had my ups and downs and the pain. I'm sort of a prisoner of my own emotions. I just want to be free. I just wanted to come home, and it's just like a nightmare. I just want to, put things, go forward and just be a family again and be a father to him. Yeah. I think that's the most important thing, to keep in contact and just keep telling him that you love him.
When are you going to see him again?
I'll be going to court in the next few months, so I'll be seeing him then. Yeah,
but when will you see him in a more carefree way? When's your next scheduled meeting with him, as it were?
Easter.
At Easter?
Yeah.
And again, you have to travel to Greece, of course.
Yeah, this is why I'm going to court. And with the access I had, it was very, very good. Because I proved in court that I was a good father, because I took all my evidence off my doctor, the police, to say I had no criminal record, to prove how she told lies in court. And the access I have is very, very good. So hopefully, when I go back to court, she'll let him come to England for holidays and then send him back.
Do you think, if it weren't for the parents getting involved here and putting pressure on your ex-wife, that you would still be together now as a family?
I think so, yeah. Because I'm 44 now, and the stepdad's 43. He's never had children, and he just wanted to raise the child as his own.
Oh, so she has remarried?
No, her mother had her when she was 14, 15. Her mother's only 43 now, I think.
Oh, I see, yeah.
And the stepdad's younger than me, and, you know, he wanted to raise the child as his own.
Yeah.
And this was the problem, you know.
Can I thank you very much indeed for being so candid today with us and being part of the programme. I think it's very, very important that we heard from you, and thank you for doing it, Ian. Thank you very much indeed, sir.
Pleasure.
It's Ian Lomax.
Bye.
And when